Hi there, this is Tony from pianotone.ca, and this is my review on the OneOdio Studio Pro-10 headphones. Let's check it out. So if you follow my channel, you might know that I recently reviewed the OneOdio A71 Studio headphones. There's a link to my review in the description below. I had purchased those for two reasons. One, I wanted to get a reasonably inexpensive second pair of studio headphones so that I wouldn't have to continue putting extra wear and tear on my main set, my AKG 92 headphones, by constantly moving them around from keyboard to keyboard. And number two, I wanted to check out an interesting feature on these headphones from OneOdio, which is that they have two input ports. For people who have keyboards or digital pianos that don't have an auxiliary input, I wanted to check out whether these two input ports would be a solution for being able to hear your keyboard and a device like an iPad at the same time, for streaming backing tracks or lessons or playing along with YouTube, that kind of thing. Well, my final verdict from that review was kind of mixed. The two ports do provide a solution for listening to your keyboard and a device at the same time, and for general purpose listening, I thought they sounded pretty good and they were really comfortable. But are they appropriate for music production or music studio editing, that kind of thing? No, they're not. And that's because the A71s have some significant bass boost happening. So while this can sound great, it's not something you want if you're mixing or recording. Studio headphones are supposed to give you an accurate representation of the sounds in your mix without modifying them at all. So since I was looking for a second set of studio headphones, I did end up returning my A71s. But OneOdio decided to send me a different model of headphones to review instead. They have quite a few in their lineup. And those are the Studio Pro-10 headphones that I'm reviewing today. They have a Pro-10, a Pro-30, and a Pro-50 in that product line. So thank you to OneOdio for doing that, but I do still promise to provide my honest opinion on these. Now let's check out the Pro-10s. So just like the A71s, you're going to get two cables, which I'll talk about in a second. You get the little instruction manual, and you get a nice little carrying bag. The cool thing about the carrying bag, same as I mentioned on the A71 review, is that the company's name and contact information is actually printed on the bag. So given that you're probably going to toss the box and probably toss the documentation, but you're probably going to keep the bag, that's actually pretty handy. And if you plan on carrying these around or transporting them at all, they do fold if that matters to you. Okay, so back to the cables. You do get two cables. They aren't the greatest feeling quality, but these are budget headphones, so that's okay. The main cable that you get is a reasonable length, and it's got two TRS connectors, 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch, so two stripes on each side. This cable is best used for listening to your digital piano signal or a signal from another audio device like an audio interface or a mixer. And this is a generic port, so you could use your own longer high-quality TRS cable if you want. This is intended to be plugged into the left ear, and that is a generic port. So like I said, you could use your own cable if you wanted to. Okay, so the other cable is a 1/8 inch TRRS, so three stripes. The extra wire carries a mic signal from a built-in microphone in the cable. This cable is really meant to connect to a device, so a PC or iPad or iPhone, and you would use this cable and port for more general purpose stuff like listening to music or a Zoom call or gaming using the built-in mic. This one is intended to be plugged into the TRS side, so two stripes, into the right headphone, and then the TRRS side into your device. Now, one issue with this cable, though, is that it's really quite short. It's only this long. So if you want to use this to listen to your iPad while you're playing the piano, so for example, if you take a look back here, my iPad would be on that music rest, and then there's no way that's going to be long enough to go behind the piano and under and back up to my headphones. So what you could do two things. You could get an extension cable like this one, which has a female TRS port in it, and then a male TRS port on the other side just to lengthen it. But to be quite honest, what I would recommend doing instead is just going and buying a nice long TRS cable, not a TRRS cable. I got this online for maybe, I don't know, $8 or something. So they're not expensive, and they're handy to have around. And by getting just a TRS without the inline mic, you're often going to have a better signal or clearer signal from your piano or device. Then you can just save the included one and use that with the inline mic for Zoom calls. Okay, so how do the Studio Pro-10s sound compared to the A71s? Fantastic. There is no massive extra bass boost like there was with the A71s. It's a much more even and well-rounded sound, reasonably clear lows, mids, and highs. Now, I'm not even close to being an expert on audio, but to me, these actually sound every bit as good as my AKG 92s that I've been using, which are about more than twice the price, almost 3 times the price. Since my AKG 92s were a noticeable upgrade from my original Tascam TH02 headphones, I can safely say that the OneOdio Studio Pro-10s are also going to be a step up from those Tascams, even though they sell for about the same price, which is a crazy inexpensive $30 to $35 US. Getting headphones with 50 millimeter neodymium drivers and 32 ohms of impedance, which is actually right in the butter zone for digital pianos, for this price is a fantastic deal. And just like the A71s, they're pretty comfortable and they do manage to fit my massive head. I'm not going to bother demoing the inline mic at all. That's not really what I bought these for. I'm sure it's perfectly fine for a Zoom call or something. And one other feature that the OneOdio headphones have is what they call SharePort, which allows you to connect multiple headphones together to listen to a single input source plugged into the first set in the chain. So what are the differences between the Pro-10, the Pro-30, and the Pro-50? The only differences between these models that I can see from the online specs is actually just the quality of the ear pads, with the Pro-50s having the highest quality, which is protein leather ear pads. So those should actually last quite a bit longer than these ones. The price differences between these models really isn't significant, actually. The Pro-50s are about $20 US more than the Pro-10s, and the Pro-30s are somewhere in the middle. So the final verdict on the OneOdio Studio Pro-10 headphones, I can highly recommend these headphones as a budget option to use with your digital piano or keyboard for music production and recording, and also as a solution for listening to your iPad and keyboard at the same time. I recently got a new Donner DDP-80 digital piano that doesn't have an audio input, so the OneOdio Studio Pro-10s are going to come in very handy for me playing along with backing tracks on my iPad on my new Donner. So whether you opt for the Pro-10s, Pro-30s, or Pro-50s, they are all fantastic value for the price. They sound to me every bit as good as my AKG 92s, which are about $70 US. And the Pro-10s are less than half of that, and the 50s are still cheaper, and they've got really good quality ear pads. As far as durability, time will tell. My Tascam TH02s lasted a year, and I actually replaced my AKG 92s under warranty after only 6 months. One of the ears started to distort. I do put my headphones through a lot, so we'll have to see how these OneAudios last. So I've included some affiliate links below to the OneOdio Pro Series, both Amazon links and also links to OneAudio's site, so you can look for the best price in your area. And I've also included some links to some piano training that I recommend, and I also threw in a link to my first original song on piano if you want to check that out. So thanks a bunch for checking out this video. Feel free to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. That does really help me out. Happy headphone shopping and happy piano playing. Have an awesome day.